Well, hello again. This is a continuation of painting on my road. Hopefully you can see it in the camera. The first coat of paint went down. It's been a couple hours, I think. Haven't really been watching the time, but it seems to be dry. But I'm using paint from Vallejo for the road surface. The first coat was Vallejo Pale Blue Gray 71.046, and that was a thin wash all along the road surface itself, using a liberal spritzing of distilled water. And the idea being to keep it wet as you go, to get it as even a coating as possible. Although there are some areas where it's a little bit darker, where there's a little more pigment that settled in the different areas after brushing. And of course, that just adds to, at least I hope, adds to the realism of the street scene, the street surface, road surface. Again, it's something I've seen in real life, varying colors of the of pavement. You know, whether it's from natural weathering or road patches or just different wear patterns from traffic, what have you, stains, oil stains, so forth. But I think I'm pretty happy so far, and I'm going to do the second coat, which is dark gray blue 71.054, and final coat will be what is this, dark sea gray 71.053, again Vallejo. The brush I am using is Princeton Velvetouch 1/2 inch. I've used this with acrylic and oil. Seems to work equally well. Be sure to clean your brushes after each use to help promote longevity. You can use, like the oil paints, you can use thinner, or I just use warm water. Whether it's oil or acrylic, I use warm water to clean them. Although I've also used, what is this, 91% isopropyl alcohol for cleaning the brush. And then, of course, letting it dry thoroughly, but you don't want pigment built up here. For the life of me, can't remember what this part of the brush is called, where the bristles come out, but you don't want pigment built up under there. Over time, that can damage the brush, shorten its lifespan. Anyway, about to give a second coat. Oh, and you can't see it in the moment in this view, but in previous videos you'll see that the surface here goes along the front edge. This is a 1 foot by 2 foot Homosote insulation, and the balsa road bed just goes along the front edge. This is about approximately a lane and a half with a shoulder, small shoulder, maybe. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to have a shoulder of any kind. probably just the lane, a full lane and part of a lane in HO scale. This will be 2 lanes, 1 lane going each direction on this one. But really, again, no shoulder. I mean, given the location, industrial area, this part over here is going to be side of a, when it's completed, there'll be a simple warehouse right here, part of a warehouse. Just a little dirty, gritty area here. Might have a little vehicle sitting there, some other details you might typically see next to a warehouse building and whatever location in industrial America, trackside. Over here is foliage, a little bit of grass, maybe bushes, a few trees. Probably a little dirt area here that maybe just enough for a small HO scale car to sit on or park on. Haven't decided yet. I just know for sure this is going to have some foliage, drainage ditch. Check previous videos, you'll find out what all's going there. At least what my plans are. Looks like I got to do a little cleanup along the rail here. Crackle paste, but that should come off with a knife, no problem. So anyway, back to painting. And again, this is just distilled water in a little spritzer bottle. It's not the greatest. The spread, it's a bit more than I would like, but that's okay. But the idea of, again, make it good and wet. Finding this little spritzer is kind of finicky. I may want to just use a dish of water or something, but and gotta try to remember to keep it wet. This little bottle just does not want to cooperate easily. As I do this, I'm just thinking about, I don't know if it makes a difference necessarily brushing along one direction. Maybe it does. I mean, the direction of traffic, direction of travel of traffic. would, of course, give you weathering in certain, or a look. What am I trying to say? The look would be a certain, or wait, road grime, oils, etc. I would assume, based on what I've observed in the real world, follow, whatever direction of travel cars are going, vehicles are moving. And so I'm brushing accordingly. I feel like I want a little, but hopefully you can see the camera how much more this stands out. A little bit more of a shake. Just a little goes a long way, as the saying goes, and that's true with this as it is with most anything else, I guess. I suppose I could use a bigger brush. This is a 1/2 inch, but I don't have any 1 inch or 3/4. I'm liking how this is turning out so far. I want to be sure to get edges. I'm going to assume that most of this will be covered along the edge a little bit anyway with whatever I end up doing with the soil treatment over here, earth. But I want to paint the edges so there's a smooth transition from street into the ground. I'm not terribly concerned about something like this where it's uneven, and this here, I mean, you see that with asphalt. But when I put in the ditches here, I'm hoping to use like Sculptamold and shape it out into a ditch and up onto the sides, and then of course the soil on top of that, because obviously this is a bit unrealistic here, this 1/8 inch gap, whatever that equates to in HO. But yeah, I'm feeling kind of excited about how this is looking. Let this dry and come back for the darker coat. See you then.